Hey, what day is it?
It's not Friday, that's all I know.
It's Tuesday.
Tuesday.
What's
up, Grant?
Some folks wanted to know, they see you scribbling frantically sometimes.
Mapping out
What
the
do you-
show.
what is
and
that?
I have horrible handwriting.
Can I just see?
In fact, I wrote something down about Suzette the other day.
Yeah.
And I saved it because I don't know what the hell I wrote. I was like, what is this? Every once in a while, I can't read my own writing, and I'm like, what did I say? What did I say? Oh, Kyle's here. Hey, gang.
Cool shirt.
Hey, thanks, man.
Where'd you get it?
The toilet store.
Seriously.
Shirt.org.
Well, yeah. Or www.toiletstore.com. Hey, Rich.
How are you?
Where'd you get your shirt?
Same place.
That's right. Woo!
Toilet store rack.
Today's show is brought to you by www.toiletstore.com. Does that sound right?
Let's go.
Pow.
Wow. Is that a new one?
No.
Oh.
These are all very old.
Jean jacket day.
Yeah, bro.
Where'd you get your... Where's that from?
You know where it's from. You know where it's from.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Edit this part out.
Woo!
You know how many times on the show I've brought things up that were new to me, and then you guys are like, what? You didn't know about that? For
Like
example,
when you discovered Costco?
Costco's a good one.
MapQuest.
MapQuest, seedless watermelon, I think is the most recent one. When I discovered seedless watermelon, I couldn't believe it. Afrin.
Yeah.
When I was like, man, I found this thing. It's
one.
no spray. It was incredible. It's called Afrin. Like I literally, honest to God, was coming to you from a place of, let me tell you what I discovered. Okay. I discovered something yesterday. And I was so excited. And then I had this, all of a sudden I had this like, does everybody know about this? Right? But I tested it by my wife and she didn't know. So I was very excited to present it to you guys. Like, this is crazy. And now even by me saying this, I'm so embarrassed if you guys already know about it.
I can see the pain in your face.
I know. Because when I discovered it, it was crazy. And all day yesterday, I was like, look at my eyes are watering because I was so excited. Okay, so let me give you the background. I leave the show. My wife's out of town with my oldest son and my youngest son. So it's just me and my middle son. We're home. And there's not a lot of groceries. So when I left here, I said, do you need anything? He said, I need bread and turkey. I said, all right, I'm going to go to the store. So I go to the store. First of all, this is the first time I've been anywhere where I felt bad not having a mask on.
Oh, yeah. Is
Right?
it the looks? Oh, you get the looks. If
This
you're
is
not
the
wearing
first
a
time.
mask these days, be prepared for the daggers.
Yes, this is the first time. And it also where I saw like usually older people kind of like darted out of the way. It was weird. Okay,
Yeah.
but I also don't go out a lot, right?
Yeah, that's pretty normal right there.
Yeah, but for me, it wasn't. That's not where I'm getting to. That's not what I'm getting to. So I was walking the parking lot and see, but there's still a couple of people I saw. The ones not wearing masks, we were the minority, right? And
Also, if you're not wearing a mask and you see another person not wearing a mask, it's almost like you're like,
what's up?
solidarity. But then you also feel really guilty for
Yes.
not having a mask with you.
I did. I really did. So I go to CVS, pick up my thyroid meds, and then I go to the grocery store next door. And I grab, my essentials are like grapes, almond milk, eggs, and there was toilet paper. So I grabbed toilet paper just because I don't know if we have it or not, but I thought, oh my God, there's toilet paper. So I grabbed toilet paper. So when I'm going through, my favorite thing is grapes. I love grapes. I can eat grapes all day. It's one of my favorite foods. And normally when there's grapes, I like to take grapes and test them out before I buy the bag of grapes, right? And I've talked to the owner of grocery stores before, had them on the show, and they said, do that. It's encouraged.
But also, don't you feel like it's kind of gross because they're not washed yet?
You need to rinse them at least.
No, I don't care about that. But the owner, we had the CEO of the grocery store of Kroger and Fry's, and he said, that's great. I encourage you to do that. We want you to do that. We had him on our show, and he said to do that. So there was two brands of grapes. And one brand of grapes was open, and the other one was sealed shut. So I decided, I looked at the bag that was open, and there was a dude with a mask right there, so I wasn't going to stick my fingers in and test out the grapes. They looked good, so I grabbed the grapes and put them in. And the other bag of grapes was sealed shut. And that bag of grapes was called cotton candy. I've never heard of that brand before. It said cotton candy. And I was like, oh, wow, cotton candy brand. And then it said on the bag, tastes like real cotton candy. And I was like, oh, that's cute. So I put the bag of grapes in there, and I went on with my day. Then when I got home, and Kemp and I were unloading the groceries, it says cotton candy grapes. I opened up the bag that was already open, and I test out those grapes, and they're delicious. And I was like, good purchase, Jay. Good grapes. Because my wife's been buying some mangoes lately, and they're not ripe, and they're gross. And I'm like, man, can't you see that these grape mangoes aren't ripe? You know what I mean? So they're sliced mangoes. These grapes were delicious. And I was like, all right, good choice. Then I opened up the bag of the cotton candy brand grapes. And they taste exactly like cotton candy.
It's amazing.
And it blew my freaking mind. I was like, what? This is like, I was at a carnival. And I'm eating these grapes, and they taste like cotton candy grapes. My wife, I called her immediately, and I said, have you ever heard of this before? And she said, no, I have not heard of this before. I go, I just want to make sure that's not like seedless watermelon. I go, I've never seen it. I buy grapes all the time, and I've never seen cotton candy grapes anywhere. And I look at the bag, and it's all in French. So it's not like they're some mass produced. I've never heard of them before. I don't know the story behind them, but they were incredible.
They are good. I've had them. I don't see them all the time, but I've seen them and I've had them, and I think they're fantastic. So, but you're not. It's not like when you just discovered Amazon like 2 months ago. I mean, I don't think it's everywhere. Do you, Kyle?
I've seen them before. I've never actually bought them, but I feel like those are up there with like the grapple, which is like the grape fused with an apple.
I love
so
a
it's an
grapple.
apple that sort of tastes like a grape, and those are pretty delightful.
I never heard of it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Go out of your way, try to find them. Like,
So are they sweet and not sour? Because grapes are kind of sour.
it's exactly like cotton candy. I don't know how to tell you what cotton candy. It's like
crazy.
it is the crazy. And I'm looking on the back. I'm like, is there some sort of like calorie intake? Is it saying grapes with sugar? Because I'm trying to stay away from sugar. There's no ingredients in the bag, and my mind is literally blown by this thing. I'm staring at the bag. I'm pulling the grapes out. I'm looking at them. Are they pink? Are they not? They're not. They're green grapes, and they taste exactly like liquid cotton candy. And I'm sitting there going, this is perfect for like my sugar issues. Like if I'm watching a movie and you want to whatever, I'll take my cotton candy grapes with me. Then I'm like, I need to buy as many of these as I can. But how long will they last?
Probably not long.
And it's like I've never seen them before. It's like, talk about hoarding. These need to be hoarded as soon as possible. Like, it was the craziest thing ever. I called Kemp over. Kemp was like, this is crazy. I'm like, thank you. This is crazy, man.
Yeah, that's new to me. Never heard of that.
Yeah, you got to dive into those. If you can find them, I don't see them that often.
You know what I noticed with Rich on the show? Like, if you ever bring up anything, like, you know what's weird is I urinated out of my elbow. Rich will go, yep.
Nothing surprises him.
Every other Wednesday.
Seen it all.
Yeah,
You can say
he
it.
knows about everything.
I saw a helicopter flying overhead and aliens jumped out, parachuted out in my backyard. Yep. What is it?